What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'm going to continue my October Elm Street series. So in the month of October, I'm going to review every Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And this is part 4, so we are going to talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. And when I was growing up, I've already talked about how Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was my favorite Freddy movie, and it still is. But there was a brief window when I was a teenager where maybe Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, was my favorite. A brief window. 3 was my favorite, and then I think 4 kind of overtook it for a short time, and then 3 became my favorite again. But there was a time when I just watched The Dream Master over and over again. I was younger, and I think what appealed to me about this movie was this was the movie where you really saw the transition in Freddy Krueger. In Nightmare 3, he started quipping a little bit, but he was still mean. He was still scary. And then 4, you make the turn. 4, he starts joking a lot. He starts becoming a bit of a parody of his original self. There's a scene where they're on the beach, his glove comes out of the sand and starts going through the sand like a shark fin. He pops out of the sand and he's in sunglasses. That's the type of thing we're getting in this movie. When I was a kid, I ate that stuff up. I thought he was funny and I was rooting for him. And every time he made a funny quip before he killed somebody, it was enjoyable. There's the infamous waterbed scene. There is the Roach Motel scene. There's just a lot of classic Freddy moments that take place in this movie. It does a good job of following up with Dream Warriors. Kirsten is played by somebody different, and doesn't really even look all that much like the original actress, but that was easy enough to forgive, mostly because Kirsten is killed off pretty early in the movie. And then they bring back the other 2 Elm Street kids that survived the original, or part 3. They bring back Kincaid, they bring back Joey, only to be killed off again very, very quickly. In some ways, they kind of Alien 3'd it, right? Kirsten, Joey, Kincaid, they survived Dream Warriors. They survived this terrible, violent man, and they had this victory, only to have that victory snatched away from them at the very beginning of the next movie by dying terrible deaths. But it wasn't as offensive as in Alien 3, because for part 4 to happen in the context that they told this movie, Kincaid, Joey, and Kristen had to die so he could move on to another group of children. They were the last 3. He had to take them out. Without taking them out, he wouldn't have the door opened to this whole other group of kids. And that door is opened through Alice, played by Lisa Wilcox. I had a big crush on Lisa Wilcox growing up because she played Alice. To me, I know most people probably believe that Nancy Thompson is Freddy's primary antagonist or protagonist, however you want to view it. And that's probably true. In my head, though, Alice is Freddy's opposite. Alice is Freddy's primary antagonist, because this movie does a good job of establishing new lore about Freddy, taking what we know about him and building on it and making it bigger. And this movie introduces the concept of dreams having a positive gate and dreams having a negative gate. If you go through the positive gate, you're going to have good dreams. If you go through the negative gate, you're going to have nightmares. and that Freddy is the gatekeeper of the negative gate, and Alice, being the Dream Master, is the gatekeeper of the positive gate. And her being the Dream Master, she has a special ability to absorb the powers, the dream powers of people that Freddy kills. So Freddy gets the souls, she gets the powers. And as the movie progresses, and so let me back up. When Freddy kills Kristen early in the movie, Alice gets her powers. Remember, Kristen has the ability to bring other people into her dreams. Now that Alice has Kristen's powers, she can bring other people into her dreams. And that opens up a whole new group of kids for Freddy to go after. But that also means that there's going to be other powers that Alice is going to absorb along the way. And what I really liked about Alice was the character development that took place with her. Early in the movie, she was, they tried to make Lisa Wilcox look homely, poorly dressed. Her body language was not confident. But as the movie progressed and she gets more and more powers, we start to see her change. We start to see her become more confident. We start to see her learn how to fight. We start to see her learn how to be strong. To where when she has the final showdown with Freddy, this is the best showdown that a final girl has with Freddy in any of the Nightmare movies. The showdown between the Dream Master and Freddy at the end of the Dream Master. They're in a church and they literally fight. She uses martial arts and he uses the things that he has, and they fight, and they really come to a stalemate until she starts chanting a rhyme. And I felt that this rhyme really worked. Now I lay me down to sleep, the master of dreams my soul I'll keep, in the reflection of my mind's eye, evil will see itself and it shall die. It might seem kind of silly to have Freddy die by looking at himself in his reflection. But maybe it was. But what I liked about it was congruent with Freddy. Freddy has his own rhyme, right? 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock the door. He has his own rhyme. So it would stand to reason that the Dream Master also has her own rhyme, and that the Dream Master's rhyme is able to cancel out the negative. So it was really great to see, for the way this whole ending scene played out. I loved it. And it's still one of my favorite set pieces in any Nightmare film, is the battle between Alice and Freddy. Now, Alice continues in the next movie. The next movie is very different than this one. But this one, I contend, is one of the better Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I don't like it as much as 3. It might be my second favorite, though. I still really like the Dream Master. It's just a movie that, yeah, Freddy goes over the edge and becomes very comedic and not quite as scary in this one, but that's also kind of the point. This is a series now that's about him. This many movies in, having the same antagonist, stalking a group of kids, at this point, it's about him, and it's not about the kids. That would stand to reason that they would introduce somebody who is his equal in the dream world. And yeah, I just really liked it. I just really liked it a lot, and I still like it. It's still probably my second favorite of the Nightmare movies. It's insanely rewatchable. It might be more rewatchable than the Dream Warriors, honestly. It's just a very rewatchable movie. I think it's more rewatchable than the first one. I just think it's got that kind of energy and that kind of fun. So I thought it was funny the way that he came back. He was just there, right? You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead. Again, it kind of undercuts and undoes what was done in the third movie. I think you can make the argument that it makes Nancy's sacrifice less potent, less heroic. But if I'm judging this movie based on entertainment value, based on fun value, this movie is off the charts for me. So I don't like it as much as Dream Warriors, but I still really like The Dream Master. It's still a very, very good nightmare movie, in my opinion. So, what did you think of Dream Master? Do I like it a little bit too much? Do I have kind of those nostalgia goggles on where, yeah, I've been watching this movie for most of my life. That's why I like it so much. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.